Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Q&A session and the wonderful potato quality. All right, today we're going to be talking about GLs, Galactic Legends, due actually to a conversation we were having in the Arena Science Discord last week. I thought it was a great idea. Anyway, we'll be talking about what they can do on offense in 3v3 and 5v5 and what they can do on defense. If anybody has any questions, let me know. Otherwise, we'll start going through some of the data. Let's see, we want to go to Grand Arena Science as well. They have some good stuff there. Yeah, check out this live course. Amazing. Let's start with offense on 3v3. If anybody has any questions, feel free to ask in chat, and I'll answer it as best I can. So let's start what they can solo on offense. Let's first take a look at what is actually available. We'll start with my favorite GL, Sith Eternal Emperor. So here we have quite a few actual solos, and none of these are close. They're all equal. We'll check them one by one. So first of all, for Sith Eternal Emperor, let's not include Watt. Hey Free, how's it going? Good afternoon. We won't include Watt in this because SEE with Watt and SLK with Watt, in 3v3s, there's basically nothing they cannot kill. So we're going to look just at pure solos. I think it's a little bit easier to look that way. And with the exception of GLs, which SEE will need, let's look at other GLs. He can kill JML, and that's it. Otherwise, he needs Watt. He needs armor with 3 ingots. Okay, so that's for the other GLs. Let's move this down a little bit easier. And for non-GLs, he can kill anything. That's a big statement, right? Solo Sith Eternal Emperor can kill anything in 3v3. It's actually true. The only thing that he might have a small difficulty with is if he goes against General Skywalker, and for some reason you don't link General Skywalker. Don't know why. Or against General Skywalker at the very end when he stands up after you kill both of his buddies. He gets incredibly lucky with the RNG, and I don't even know how that's possible. Like, he probably will delay your turns with his crits, but it's not going to stop you from killing him. We have a video in here, I think, where he does the same thing. Let's put this in here, except so if we look here, we can see examples of him killing CLS, Darth Revan. It doesn't matter if there's Malak or Fallen Best still in there. It doesn't make any difference. JML, here's Gas. Let's take a look at the video and I can show you an example. So if we get close to the end here, yeah, sitting down, not even an ult yet. Okay, kills him now. Gas stands up, so his skills are going to be delayed. But he takes 2 turns in between Gas's every 1 turn. Gas regains some health, takes 1 turn, another turn, and 3 turns this time, and there goes Gas. And that's about as close as you're going to get against any 3v3 team. Minus a GL, there is no 3v3 team that's going to slow down Sith Eternal Emperor. So that's easy. Sith Eternal Emperor on offense. The one thing here I will make a note though about SEE Mirror, it's better to go in by himself rather than with Watt, because if you go in with more than one character, the other SEE will be able to link, and we'll get to his ultimate sooner. In the mirrors, the point of SEE is to get to his ultimate quicker, and you have 3 characters moving instead of your 1, so you'll get to your ultimate quicker, kill the 2 sides, go after the other SEE with your ult damage, just the basic once you're in ult form, and you'll win. It's pretty easy. So, Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. Let's see, other GLs. He can kill JML. With what? Okay, solo. Other GLs, he cannot kill Rey solo, or he can, but it's extremely difficult, not anything reliable. JML lead, depending on the ads. If JML does not have, will not have either gas or JKL. This is generally how it works. So let's see what videos we have here. Don't think there's that many of Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. So yeah, against the BAS JML, that's no problem. Against SEE, there's no problem. Against gas, it actually can be a little bit of an issue. Hey Simon, thanks for joining again. Nice to see you once more. Against, yeah, all of these, it's fine. So against Rey, if JML does not have either gas or JKO with him. Against SE is autoable. You only have to watch out against SE if they have like Dooku, potentially. Dooku, it's more be like Sidious Malik, maybe? The only way he can have some challenge. Yes, exactly, Freed. We're gonna, well, for 3v3, we'll talk about each of them on offense, and then we'll go into when they're solo, how to kill them, and then we'll go into 5v5, because it's definitely a difference on the offensive side on 5v5 and 3v3. So 5v5 offense at the very end. So anyway, Supreme Leader Kylo Ren against C is autoable against JML if they don't have gas or JKL with them. Against Rey, nope. Against, let's see, other SLKs, nope. Not if the other SLK has 2 other folks with him. Okay, what can Rey do? Wait, actually, non-GLs. Yes to anything. Gas 501st. Let's go take a look at swgh.gg and I'll show you what I mean. Oh, wrong one. It's different in this screen. So let's find General Skywalker. Totally unrelated question. It would be nice in this screen, right here, I think it would be nice to have a little menu box, not part of this lower screen, but sort of think of it right above it, where you could get all of the GG stats by just putting in the characters you wanted to see, and it would automatically pop up the respective link in swgh.gg. That would be pretty cool, huh? I'll have to talk to Bit Dynasty. Anyway, so we're back here. We're looking for General Skywalker. Here he is. This season of 3v3. And it's a weird UI. Let's look for Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. How many teams? Let's chop that off. And where is the first Supreme Leader Kylo Ren? Okay, so with 2 buddies, no problem. Without 2 clones, Supreme Leader Kylo is winning. 7 times he won there, so let's find 2 clones. And this works. And where is solo? Yep, here you go. So this is what I'm talking about. Yeah, definitely free. I'll have to ask if Bit Dynasty. He's busy with some other things, though. I don't want to pressure him. He does so much for the site already. So here's what I'm talking about. General Skywalker against, or General Supreme Leader Kylo Ren against General Skywalker is not a good bet when there's 2 clones. If it's with Ahsoka in there, no problem, but 2 clones, don't do that. Okay, anything else is fine. Rey, other GLs, can beat not SLK when SLK has 2 others. I mean, it's possible, I guess, but it's risky. Against other Reys, not against other Reys. Again, this is Rey solo on offense. Against a JML, JML, it depends on the comp. How much will she be ability blocked? Probably not against GAS or JML, JKL. Cannot type. And against C is very easy. Yeah, C is, you can take up against any 3's C comp with a solo Rey and beat him no problem. Okay, let's go now down to Jedi Master Luke Skywalker. Oh wait, non-GLs. Non-GLs. Anything is your food. There's no 3v3 team besides GLs that Rey has a problem with. None. DR, GG, GAS. It's all just fine. GAS is a little bit annoying. Well, actually, let's look at that one. So let's take away Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. Let's find Rey. Here we go, Rey solo. 2 clones, 100% win. Anything that isn't 100% win? No, I don't think so. Yeah. Will Rey beat SEE plus Watt if C gets the tank tech? Rey by herself, no. She will not. Now I'm thinking. I guess theoretically it's possible. But it's super hard. I would not try. Let's take a look at the season, the stats here real quick. See what we can find. We're still looking for General Skywalker. I want to go back. Counters. So for Sith Eternal, I am pretty certain that he will be beat by Rey. That's fine. Sith Eternal and Watt. Who puts Sith Eternal and Watt on defense, though? There's armor. Just a minute. What's the name of this? Watt Tambor. Okay, so we take that unit name. Do that. Nope. We add here Watt Tambor. Uncheck little doohickey whopper. And now we look for array. Win. Rey solo. So here's one with Malik and Watt. Fail. Mothma and Watt. Fail. Yeah, I would say no. I mean, theoretically, I guess it's possible, but I would definitely not bet on it. So non-GLs for Rey, anything will work. Let's go on to Jedi Master Luke Skywalker. Other GLs. What can he beat? Frankly, it's very depressing. None. He can't even beat SLK by himself. Jedi Master Luke Skywalker is a wimp. He's great in a team. He needs his strong supporting cast. Non-GLs. Not Sith not Darth Revan. GG can be iffy. Let's see, what else besides those guys does he have problems with? Sith Empire, I think of the non-GLs, that's about it. Hey, Bit Dynasty. We were just talking about an idea. So Bit Dynasty, here's the idea we were talking about. Wouldn't it be cool if in this screen somewhere, like above this menu option, it's weird in this UI version. Anyway, yeah. If there was like a little box here, similar to the unit search, the counter search here, not a box, a little menu thing, where you could put in your characters on offense and defense and click a button and it would launch a new window with the GG details. Because this sorting stuff is for the birds, really. It's not fun. Anyway, no priority or anything like that. I was just thinking that would be cool to be able to get the specific GG stats direct from this screen. Anyway, back to the non-GLs. So basically, Jedi Master Luke Skywalker is not really good on offense by himself. I mean, he's not bad, but he can't take out Sith Empire. Yeah, no hurry on that, Benazdi. I just thought of it now while I was talking with Free here, going over this stuff. The sorting through SWHGG is super annoying. Sort of like the concatenation thing, using the same formula in the concatenation thing that I use in Excel. Anyway, so let's look on defense. I think that's what most people are interested in anyway. We'll go to the offense later, or 5v5. So 3v3 defense, when they are the last one standing, how do you take them out? Now I'm going to ignore the GL component because we just talked about each GL versus the other GLs right above here. I will, by the way, make a little JPEG out of this in the next few days for those people who might watch it afterwards and are thinking this is very annoying to go through. I'll make a little JPEG that we can that I'll post on Grand Arena Science later. Anyway, so if they're the last one standing, how do you take out each of these GLs? I'm not saying what I'm saying when I go over this now. This is based on my knowledge and experience. There's no real stats on this on GG, so it's just all the different fights that I've seen and the things I've tried myself. So I will update it when I have a chance to think through it more. So Sith Eternal Emperor, when he's alone, for all of the GLs, you have to be very aware. SLK is actually not the worst. Sith Eternal is the worst, I think, Free. With all the GLs, you have to be very aware of their skill timers. So for instance, with Sith Eternal Emperor, you can use troopers. You can use Veers, Piet, and Dark Trooper to take out Sith Eternal Emperor, but not if he has Link Up, or his AoE, or his protection regeneration. You need at least 1 or 2 turns without Link active if you want to take them out with troopers. So they can do it, but it's difficult. You can do Vader, Watt, Tank, Thrawn. That's very, very, very doable, especially with Thrawn. Always link Watt and Thrawn. So that's the best thing about SEE. He's very easy to predict his link with Watt and Thrawn in the team. Yeah, definitely. With SEE, you need to put in burner teams, just like with Rey, basically. But Link, I'll make a note here. At least 1 round of turns without Link being active. This is just for the crits, for the damage. Not the Dark Trooper is going to do crits, but both Piet and Veers will crit. So you need that damage at the beginning. It's fine if he does right at the beginning his protection regeneration, because he'll have a few turns for you to kill him before that comes back. So against SEE, besides these guys, I don't think I have any more cleanup teams. Let's go back to defense. Sith Eternal Emperor, where he's alone. No, there's no more cleanup teams. Plenty of failures, though. As far as I know, these are really... Yeah, the high cooldown definitely helps with Link. As far as I am familiar with, these are the only two teams I've seen, Vader being the best option for sure. Regularly beating Sith Eternal Emperor. You can also like do something with Geos. The problem with him is he does have a lot of health steal, even when he's not in ultimate form. So, only real two teams. Jedi is not going to do it. That's honestly one of the biggest problems using any team against Sith Eternal Empire, or Jedis against Sith Eternal Emperor, is because the Jedi suck. I mean, he'll definitely not survive, or he'll survive long enough to get a link on two of the Jedis, and then your damage just goes down the crapper. So, let's look at Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. He is certainly the second most difficult, I think. The best counter by far, JKR plus DPS Jedi. Even a very strong GMY can work. And Thrawn. And this is because this is the most exploitable counter by far. Because Supreme Leader Kylo Ren is guaranteed to go after JKR first. And JKR will trigger his... Well, depending on whether he has poke available or not, you may want to use burner teams to make sure that poke is not available. Because you have JKR as the primary target, and then Thrawn probably, unless you have General Skywalker in here as well. But even with General Skywalker in here, JKR will go after, or Supreme Lord Kylo Ren will go after JKR first. So, to make sure poke is on cooldown. And like the best one I would say is this with General Skywalker. It's an easy one. Jedi Knight Skywalker is an easy one. Ezra is pretty good. You have to be careful of middle special because it removes some turn meter, I think. Ki-Adi-Mundi is awesome. But this is by far the best counter for solo Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. Another one is Gas. It's 5s plus Chewbacca. This also works, although more risky depending versus a SLK 3-man team. So that's another easy one, if you would. It's easier than the one above, but it's sort of more expensive in terms of teams, because with the JKR team, I mean, you have to use Thrawn, but there's plenty of DPS Jedi. Well, there's a number of DPS Jedi that you can use, maybe not plenty. Besides this, Vader, Thrawn lead with Freeton and Vader can work. Thrawn cannot have his Fracture Zeta. The thing with that is if Thrawn has the Zeta on his Fracture ability, I forget the name of the skill, maybe it's just Fracture. If he has the Zeta, every time an Empire ally uses a special ability, he'll remove turn meter from Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, and Supreme Leader Kylo Ren will die. Or not die, sorry. Supreme Leader Kylo Ren will get incredibly beefed up because of his unique that gives him more health and protection when he loses turn meter. So don't do that. Vader lead with Watt is so tough. And this is similar type of issue as the previous one. Essentially, every time you reduce SLK's turn meter, he gains health and protection. So when you target him with Force Crush, Watt is going to assist and reduce his TM. You have one shot, and only if SLK is already just in health. It's possible with an R7 or an R8 and a speed modded SLK, but it's super risky. I would definitely not do this one if you can avoid it. And in threes, there's no other teams that I've seen that have any chance of doing it regularly. Let's go to Rey. Rey is actually pretty easy. Well, say pretty easy. JKR, DPS, Jedi, and Thrawn looks great. Well, actually, let's talk about most important thing with Rey. I think everybody knows this. This has been around for a while. Use a burner team to get her below 50% health, so she will not go into immunity. And then send in JKR with the DPS Jedi and Thrawn and go to town. The JKR helps because his mark will reduce her max health. The risk is that she could actually go into healing immunity because of this, but you have Thrawn there, so you can take a big hit from her because you have JKR's savior ability. So another thing is Thrawn plus 2 DPS Empire. His Fracture Zeta is very helpful in this situation. So, for instance, I've seen Thrawn, Gideon, and Imperial TIE Fighter or something done like that. Yeah, JTR, absolutely. The healing immunity is incredibly useful. That's a great next team. Really, most any DPS team with the ability with Thrawn or stand a great chance. Great chat. We're chatting now. So, for instance, even Night Sisters, like Mother Talzin, probably Spirit, because you can reduce her TM, and Old Daka can take down Rey. I've personally done that myself. As long as once you land Plague on her, then she doesn't regenerate her health. Or the debuffs will stick, rather. And slowly wear away her health, and it's percentage based, so it does a lot of damage to her. Rey is not that hard. Just get her below 50% health, and then throw in DPS characters. Let's go to Jedi Master Luke Skywalker. He's a wimp. No, that's not nice. So DR, FPS, and Malik do it pretty easy. Vader, Traya, and Watt do it pretty easy. Let's see. Besides that, JTR is actually great for Jedi Master Luke Skywalker as well. R2-D2. You might lose one of the droids, but all the evasion is amazing. Well, any team with Foresight does very well. You can also send in, I saw GG, B1, and Droidica do a pretty good job, because you always take GG over 100% health with B1. Droidica is just going to go, and eventually B1 will die. I saw it once with B1 not dying. Eventually B1 will die, and then Droidica will get the taunt, and poor old Jedi Master Luke Skywalker is not going to do anything. You have healing immunity from General Grievous's basic. Yeah. Yeah, there's tons of teams. Regeneration and high DPS are the way to go. Yeah. I actually have lost with SLK versus GAS myself. GAS is a pretty good team on defense. So that's basically it. Anything else for anybody think I forgot here? We're already at half an hour. I talk too much. We'll extend for another, let's say, 10-15 minutes. We've covered both of these. We've covered cleanup for all of them, and we've covered offense in 3v3. Let's talk about offense in 5v5. And then we'll touch briefly. Actually, let's talk about cleaning up solo in 5v5. Cleaning up solo GLs in 5v5. So, because it's sort of quick because we already on the 3v3. Everything above plus for RC. Any TM, any high TM gaining team works well. Mothma actually works great. Mothma, Geos, Bounty Hunters, Troopers, of course. What doesn't work against SEE solo in 5s? High DBS and our TM gaining team. He's very vulnerable in 5s. Like, so much works. He's pretty easy. Okay, then we're talked SLK. SLK in 5s is not as easy. What we talked about above is certainly correct. Boss-led bounty hunters is great. Healing immunity, okay. Bounty hunters are awesome against SLK. Besides the things we mentioned above, what else? Geos are sort of good, but the problem is they Geos without toggle, I think. He's the one that reduces. Turn meter, I believe, right? Is unique. Yeah. So Geos without Poggle is great against this. Okay. Bit Dynasty, KRU First Order against Supreme Leader Kylo. I guess he could take enough damage, and they can do a lot of damage. Okay. Yeah, I haven't seen it personally, but that certainly makes sense. You need Hux for the assists, for the mass assist, though. Trooper. Huh, interesting. I've never tried that solo. Good to know. Very good to know. I think that's basically it for SLK, though. I mean, I'm sure I'll think of some other ones when I do the little JPEG, but that's about it. Ray, even easier. Same concept with high DPS teams. Make sure she is below 50% health. You have a way to give healing immunity or pressure. Pretty much how it goes. Like bounty hunters work again with the same setup against Supreme Leader Kylo there. Let's see, JML. Let's see, is there any teams that work in 5 that is different than 3s? Sith Empire is awesome against JML. JTR again is still great. EP Sith Empire works great. Having a cleanse on the offensive team is very helpful. due to F-Lux. That's actually the biggest problem against JML. If he uses F-Lux, it can slow you down enough that you may not actually get that many turns. So that's the one thing to be careful of. Padme actually works pretty well against JML. Because she has so much healing. And he has no way to get rid of all of your protection up. That's basically it. I might think of a few others, but that's essentially it. For those, now let's look at what can they solo in 5v5. So, what can they solo 5v5 teams? Yeah, Bit Dynasty. I'll put that in there. For all of the Qui-Gon Jinn teams. Go crazy. Yeah, all 7 of those, or however many they are. I don't think there's that many at Zetas, or relic levels. Okay. I will look at this a different way. Same as in 3's, X with what? Do it the other way. What can't they solo? The OG Zeta meta. Yeah, that was a fun Zeta for a while. I never got it actually. I'm sort of happy now, but it was definitely had its time in the sun. Okay, so I'm changing this for 5v5 offense here for the GLs. I'm changing this section. I won't format it this way in the JPEG, but I'm changing this section for what they cannot solo, what 5v5 teams they cannot solo. So, Shat clones will wreck Sith Eternal Emperor. Gas will wreck him. I think Finn Bros will wreck him. Let's see. Sith Empire you're actually good against. You just have to put the link on Sith Marauder. They don't have healing immunity either, just shock that goes away pretty quickly with all your turns. I think that's about it. CLS. Yeah, I have seen SEE versus GAS too, but it is not 100%. It is definitely not 100%. It's possible, but it's not 100%. In the videos, you always see it. That was one of the first videos they showed with SEE. But it's not guaranteed. SEE has so much, or GAS has so much offense when he stands up, he can rip SEE apart. It's different than in 3s when he doesn't have as much offense built up by that time. I'll make a little note though. Finn Bros. I was thinking of something else. Yeah, CLS. Thing is with CLS, they gain a lot of TM, but SEE that can't have his turn meter reduced. So he will eventually take a turn, and as long as you put Link on Han and what's his face, Chupio, you should be fine. It's a risky thing, but it's possible. I think that's about it in terms of teams that you really have a hard time with SEE. Let's go now to Supreme Leader Kylo. So what can't they solo? Remember, that's how we're looking at it. What can't they solo? You cannot solo Gas. That is a no bueno. He cannot solo Sith Eternal or the Sith Empire team. Marauder in there again. Yeah, definitely. Genie Duke can time out, especially if the GG is slower than 200 speed, I guess. It's around there. Definitely a good point. Good reason to mod your GG slower than 200 speed, by the way. We're almost done. I know this is longer than half an hour that I planned, but too bad. You're watching anyway. Well, not too bad. Thank you for watching, for those who do watch. I think that's about it for SLK. There's not that many. Oh, actually, Shot Clones will also take down SLK. To my, again, I had a personal experience, and I've seen it twice on different streamers, different content creators. Yeah, definitely. Actually, I'm not talking about GLs in this section. I mentioned SEE with Dooku and Sidious, mostly Sidious, up above when I was talking about GL versus GL. So I'll include that in the JPEG, but I'm just talking about non-GLs in this section. I think that's it for Supreme Leader Kylo. He is still pretty awesome. What can Rey not solo? So, gas can be tricky, but she can, just not really good. DRSE is possible, but depends on ability block from FBS. That can really shut her down. And they don't gain a lot of... Yeah, no problem against GG Newt. Rey gains so much offense. She gains, her mastery increases when anybody gains TM, and the GG Newt team gains tons of TM. And she will go. She's going to start out with her, whatever, I forget the name of the skill where she gives her bonus protection. She'll take her turn and go into ult before they're able to kill her. And she'll wipe out usually 4 of, or sometimes all 5 of the team when she does her ult. It's quite hilarious and pretty reliable. What else cannot she kill? Shot clones, I think. Clones get her. CLS. Now she'll go into immunity and then kill with her ult. They gain too much TM. Okay, well, I don't want to say that GG Newt cannot win. Can be risky, but she gains so much damage from their TM gain. I'll look for some more videos. I have a few videos I think of, maybe not in the counter tool. I haven't looked at 5v5 videos in a while. But good to know, Bit. Thank you. Shot clones get her. Seems like the same teams. GG Newt, Sith Empire, GAS, and Shot clones are against most of the squads. Hey Zen. Yeah, it's pretty good against GG Newt. I mean, obviously, as Bit's saying, you can lose, but you generally tend... I've had personally good success and have seen a few other content creators do it. I know It's Just Ian has done it a few times. I think Bitcoin, I saw him do it once or twice. And I've done it as well. Okay, but I think that's it for Rey. Let's go to my least favorite GL. Sorry for those who love him, nothing against him personally. Jedi Master Luke Skywalker. What cannot he solo? He cannot solo a lot. Honestly, I don't think I've ever used him solo against a relic team of anything. So I would love any feedback on this, because I have not used this guy solo in 5s. I've never seen somebody use him solo in 5s. I mean, yeah, sure, if it's a team of G12s, but not against like relic, a real relic team. Yeah, that's really. Can he actually solo any relic team? I don't know. Oh, poor Jedi Master Luke. I'll have to do some research on that one. Yeah, I've seen him against G12s. His Flux is just utter destruction against weaker teams. Just eradicate them. But I've not and even in like 2v5, he's pretty good. I like JKL and JML in 2v5. That's awesome. I love that setup. But just 1v5, I haven't really seen that many. I haven't seen any. And that's about all I've got, guys. Anything else that you think would be helpful to include in this JPEG eventually when I make it? Or any other questions you might have before we conclude at 15 minutes over. That's terrible. I'll have to budget my time better in the future. But thank you guys for sticking around. Really appreciate it. Well, you know what? He is an old dude, Zen. He's not a spring chicken any longer. He might have a bit too much moose milk to really get him all buff and solo, but he has a great team. Like, he's awesome against a bunch of stuff. JKL section? Okay, I see what you're saying, but like, why with JKL would you include gas? Or I guess JKL is really the only one at that level. Okay, all right. JKL is like the younger, slightly stronger in some situations. JML, is that is that what it is? Okay, but I can see including JKL. He's quite powerful. To beat solo JKL. Interesting. Yeah, not that many options, to be honest. Thrawn, Vader. I think the best one is the Triumvirate. Against almost any JKL League teams, minus the ones that's JML, the Triumvirate is an awesome way to beat it. That counter's been around since the beginning, too. I mean, you have to have Relict Triumvirate. You can't send in G12s. But if yours are mid-low Relict, or mid-Relict, let's say, 4, 5, 6. Yep, the Sith trio. Traya, Cyan, and DN, Darth Nihilus, do a great job against JKL teams. Really good job. I mean, the exception if it's like JKL gas or something, that sort of sucks. But maybe JKL Ezra would be a bit annoying, but even that is not that bad because Ezra calls assists. GMY, great, yeah, buff up the team, GMY, thank you very much. Hermit Yoda is always in there, but that's fine. The first assist from Hermit Yoda includes a buff anyway, so offense is low. What are other dangerous characters? JML. I think I would be most afraid of Ezra, just because of Ezra's stacking. But you just isolate JKL, I mean, when you take your first turn, and you're pretty much done. I mean, yes, you can still lose if JKL and, let's say, Ezra go straight for Traya. But it's unlikely. Usually Nihilus goes before then, because he gains a lot of TM from the debuffs being applied. And Traya is gaining the stacking protection as well. It's a really good counter, but they gotta be relict. Okay, anything else before I stop? Before I call it off for the evening? Thanks again for showing up, guys. I appreciate the questions and the discussion. I really appreciate the discussion more than anything else. I really am looking forward to making this an interesting little JPEG. I think it would be helpful. I forgot who brought it up in Discord, but it was a great idea. I'll make sure to give them some credit too. All right, gentlemen, and for anybody watching this stream later on YouTube, thank you for watching. If you have any questions, join Discord or ask in the chat or in the comment section of the video. Hope you guys have a good rest of your Tuesday. Cheers. See ya.